In any moment, if you look for it, if you listen for it, there is music. And when you hear music, you dance. That is what gratitude is. That is what gratitude means. I'll tell you the story that I think changed my life and always was on my mind, a gift that my grandmother gave me, who lived to 99, I just lost her a couple of years ago, was the story of when the Holocaust ended and they were being sent back home to after the war. So they went to, after the war ended, there was no discussion, there was no preparation, there was no therapy. It was, they took all the surviving prisoners from the camps and they sent them to the train station to go home. And so my grandmother described to me how, they had these swollen bellies out to here because they were starving. And they were skeletons other than that. They were skeletons with these big bellies and barely alive people. This was 2 years. 2 years that they suffered this way. And she said they went to the train station and they were waiting for a train back to Łódź, Poland, where they're from, or Łódź if you're Polish. And my grandmother said, there's just this group of people and they were just barely alive. And they don't even know if they have anything to go back to. If they go home, do they have a family anymore? What about your brothers and sisters and your parents and your grandparents? Are they alive? Were they killed? They didn't know. So here they are. They just suffered extreme torture for years. They didn't even know what they were going back to. So I can't imagine personally a worse scenario than that one right there. So they're standing there and they're waiting for the train. Now the train station was a train station that had other people in it too, who were not obviously Holocaust survivors. And my grandmother told me that somewhere in the train station, somebody started to play music. And she said when she heard the music, she started dancing. To this day, I'm so profoundly moved by that. And I remember as a kid asking my grandmother, how? How did you start dancing? And she said, I hadn't heard music in 2 years. And Brooksy, when you hear music, you dance. And that is how I have lived my life. And if you could get one gift from this whole experience, let it be my grandmother's gift. That in any moment, if you look for it, if you listen for it, there is music. And when you hear music, you dance. That is what gratitude is. That is what gratitude means, is grabbing onto any beauty you can find and just feeling blessed by it, feeling grateful for it, feeling love for it, obsessing with it, and making that your whole world. If she could do that in that moment, if she could dance in that moment, all of us can. And you can. That is what living in gratitude and joy is. That is, by the way, what mindfulness is. Being present in the moment. That is the most extreme example of mindfulness I have ever heard, is to be overcoming and living through extreme torture and pain, but being able to find joy in a moment.